Let's talk about Stokely Carmichael. Yeah. You say in this book that he really reflected a generation of disaffected black youth that moved from a nonviolent movement, obviously championed by Martin Luther King, to a more radicalized vision because of what they saw.
Yeah, because of what they experienced. What's interesting for us about Stokely Carmichael, we usually think of him as this sort of angry young man who yells black power on a national stage in Mississippi, June 16th, 1966. The more interesting aspect of Stokely Carmichael is the fact that from Port of Spain, Trinidad. He goes to one of New York City's best high schools, Bronx Science. Before affirmative action, he tests into Bronx Science.
Wow.
He's friends with Martin Luther King Jr. He goes to Howard University as a philosophy major, but he's a day-to-day civil rights organizer. He organizes poor black sharecroppers in Mississippi, Alabama. He's arrested 27 times between 1961 and 66. He's friends with Congressman John Lewis, who's not a congressman at the time. He's 19 years old when he's arrested for the first time in Mississippi. So this is a civil rights activist, community organizer who becomes a revolutionary because of what he describes as raw terror. Not just the segregation, but the violence that he sees and that he experiences himself. So he makes the argument that the only way black people are going to get really radical democracy, small d democracy, real citizenship, is through political, social, cultural self-determination.
One of the more interesting aspects, there are many interesting aspects of his life, of Stokely Carmichael's life. One of the more interesting aspects is that he is forgotten and almost diminished in terms of his leadership role in civil rights. We just showed pictures of him standing with Julian Bond and his friendship with Martin Luther King Jr. Except that Stokely Carmichael, at a specific moment in American history, the mid-60s, was really the first civil rights leader, in my opinion, I think, who scared white people a bit. You know, he scared them. And yet his vocal opposition to the war in Vietnam, tremendously on point, encouraged Martin Luther King Jr. to step out a bit on Vietnam himself, which was a huge epical event in the course of that war.
Yeah, and I think